maybe the love of my life, maybe the love of your life is ugly as and you're never gonna meet him just because you swipe left because in one picture he had a bad angle. Men are horrible, let's be honest. Gay men are a bit better, but men in general, we are horrible. Okay, now let's do this. How convenient that when I start, hello, how's it going? How convenient that when I start filming a video, I guess I will talk about boys' relationship, all this gay stuff that I always talk about. I received a message from Tinder saying that I got a match. So let's check it together. And of course, the guy is hot as fuck, but he's probably super far away, emotional, unavailable, and probably will ignore my texts. But we're gonna be positive here because today is Sunday and it's been a great day so far, so I don't wanna mess that up. But yeah, another Sunday, another rant about life, about guys, I guess. Let's see, because there's a lot in my mind, but there's a lot in my mind in a positive way because this week I've been doing a lot of cool stuff, but you don't care about that because you're gonna click off if I don't talk about gay relationship or something interested at the beginning. So let's do that. I've been going through guy issues, not guy, like boy issues. Specific this one guy, but I don't want to talk about this one. So I'm trying to forget this one guy, and he's making it really easily because he's not giving me absolutely anything. So that makes it easy for me to just forget about him. But it's a real long story. We're not getting into it. So in order to keep forgetting this guy, I went back to Tinder some months ago, and I've been on 2 dates, and the dates were okay, but after the date, I didn't text the guys didn't text me, so that's life, it's completely fine. But now I'm talking to this. Yesterday, I was talking with some friends, and I was getting a bit stressed because I was sending messages to a lot of guys, not a lot, but I was having different conversations, which I don't love because I feel like if you really want to find the one, like if you're looking for a long-term relationship, you need to focus on 1 or 2 or 3 people max. But I'm a bit desperate, I think, and I don't know why I'm desperate because a lot of comments, thank you very much, because on the previous videos people have been really nice, people have been really rude. Like there's a couple of users that don't comment anymore. Like I appreciate honesty, but some comments is like maybe too much. But I really appreciate the people that take the time and they put really long comments and they share about their experiences and they try to connect, because it makes me feel seen, it makes me feel validated in a way. And I know that I can be a mess sometimes, but this is just 20 minutes that you see of me for the whole week. It's not a representation of who I am as a person, it's just 20 minutes. It's just one side of me. Yeah, after this disclaimer that nobody asked for, I was talking about guys because yesterday I had lunch with friends and they were asking me like, oh, are you talking to someone interesting and stuff? And then I checked my conversations and it was me sending messages to a lot of people and none of them replying, which I don't fully get. Like of course you can ghost people, we lose interest every day on things, but I'm starting to see a common theme that I'm starting conversation with people, they look really nice, they look really like friendly and stuff, but after 1 day or 2, it's not like I'm all the time texting, so maybe this is what they don't like. After a couple of days they just get tired, I guess, and they don't reply to my message, which I think it's kind of rude. And of course people are busy, people go through things, like I'm aware, and I probably done that in the past. The thing that sucks is that it happens a lot, and then I was starting to think maybe I am the problem. And I know that I'm not perfect, I have some issues, but I don't want to think that I'm just the problem in absolutely every match, in every relationship that I'm trying to build. So I'm trying to not overthink. But today I started talking with this guy and I've been seeing this guy on Tinder quite a lot, but I was really hesitant to swipe right. I don't know why. I have this thing that I like a guy on Tinder and I see him quite a lot, but instead of swiping left, like not interested, or swiping right, interested, I just close the app when some people come up because I don't want to swipe left nor right. So I just leave it for the next time. And I'm like, this is so stupid. If I'm a little bit interested in someone, let's just swipe right, because I'm a firm believer that we as gay people and just people in general, we put so much attention, like our focus is on physical attributes a lot. And I get that you have to be physically attracted to the people that you're gonna build a long relationship with. But I really wanna think, I don't know if I really think that way, but I'm forcing myself to think that way, that personality is the way to go. And you're gonna be like, no shit, like I know that, but I'm trying to, like, if the description is nice, if they look good, maybe if there's something that I don't vibe with, but still the whole profile, I like it, let's just swipe right and let's talk and let's have a conversation, let's meet in person, and then I can decide if I like the person or not. Because of course, when you are on these dating apps, it's really superficial, but I'm sure there's a lot of people, and I said this in the past kind of jokingly, but maybe the love of my life, maybe the love of your life is ugly as fuck, and you're never gonna meet him just because you swipe left, because in one picture he had a bad angle or something, and you miss the opportunity to meet a really interesting person, which it puts a lot of pressure, because then I'm starting to think when I'm swiping, should I just be much more flexible and swipe right to a lot of people, even if the pictures are not it. So I'm trying to focus, of course, on the pictures, of course, on the bio as well, and the vibe. I know it's difficult to assess the vibe through pictures, but I don't know, the environment, the way even the gaze, I think that's the word, the way they look. I don't know, I'm trying to be a bit more thoughtful about it, because before it was they're ugly, I'm not interested, they're pretty, I'm interested. But there's so much more than that. And I see relationships around me that maybe they wouldn't have met if they were on the dating apps, but they met in real life, and after having a conversation they were like, oh, you're really interesting, like I kind of like you, so let's try to keep dating. But then on the dating apps it's so difficult. I would love to meet people in real life, but I don't know how people do it. I think I need a lot to work on, like I have a lot to work on. I'm doing better, I think, and I'm putting myself in uncomfortable situations, because people say that you need to be out there in order to meet people. You need to put yourself outside of your comfort zone, and maybe you meet interesting people, and maybe you create relationships that you were not expecting. But for now, my main focus to meet guys is through dating apps, because I'm horrible at in real life, like, get to know you. Or even when I go to parties, I get invited to some, not a lot, I'm not that popular, I'm not popular, period. But when I do get invited to parties or gatherings, I closed off completely. I don't know why. Like, I admire so much when someone goes to a gathering and they don't know most of the people, but they feel comfortable to just talk and to at least try to get to know people. But for me, I'm too much in my head, and I always think when I will open my mouth, someone will interrupt myself, or I will say something that it's not related to the topic of conversation, or I will say something that will sound stupid, or maybe someone already said this and they're gonna be like, oh, we already said this. Like, there's a lot going on when I'm in social gatherings. And I discovered a long time ago that I'm really good at, I don't know if I'm really good, but I prefer one-to-one connections. This is why I used to like, and I still like, I think, dating, because it's just meeting people one to one, and it's always, not always, but most of the time it's really fun to meet people. And even if it's not anything romantic, maybe it's a friend, and even if it's not a friend, it's just having a good time and meeting, getting to know someone that maybe you wouldn't have met in your day-to-day life. So I'm trying to be much more open-minded, and I'm trying to put myself out there a bit more, because I notice that when I feel like I'm saying the most basic shit in the world, but I will continue to do that. When I'm with people, when I'm with my people, I feel much more comfortable. Let's say when I'm at work, I feel quite confident because I like what I do. I like the people that I do it with. So if someone introduces themselves at work, I feel like I can have a conversation because I am in my safe zone in a way. Same that when I'm with my friends and someone new comes in, it takes me a little bit, but I feel like I can be more myself because there's already a lot of people there that accepts me for who I am. So for the new people, for the new person, it's like the pressure is on that person. But when I'm this new person, it's nerve wracking for me. But we were talking about guys and Tinder and all this stuff. Today I started, or yesterday I think, I started to talk with this really nice guy that I was seeing on Tinder quite a lot, but I never swipe right or left. And I swiped right like a month ago, I think, and we matched. We were not talking to each other. And now I'm going chronologically. I don't want to collect matches. Like either I'm going to talk with them or I'm going to delete the match because there's no point. And I'm going chronologically. If they don't talk to me, I will talk to them, but by the order that I matched them, if that makes sense. So today or yesterday, I sent a message and he's really nice. And it's been quite refreshing because it's been a while being 2 weeks, that I was not talking like consistently with someone. Like I'm sending message, he's sending message, I'm sending message, because usually the conversation just dies out or the other person ghosts me, which is completely fine. I think I've done it as well. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I've never ghosted anyone. There's this one person that I always remember, but I'm sure there's more boys that I ghosted, but I don't love it. But yeah, that's another story. But yeah, I'm talking with this guy. He's really nice, or at least he looks really nice. Of course, there's some physical things that I don't love, but I'm trying to see beyond that, because if the guy, it looks like he takes care of himself, it looks like he's like put together, he can have a conversation, he's kind of funny, he's vibing with what I say. All of this is already a lot, but there's some things about him physically that I don't love. But again, I'm trying to be more flexible. And when I talk about these things, I sound like the most superficial person in the world, but I don't think I am. It's just that I'm really honest with myself and with what I feel and how I see people. But I really think that a lot of people are really superficial. They just don't talk about it that openly. At least I'm open and I'm trying to work on it. I don't know how, but I am trying. So with this guy, there's a lot of things that I like. There's a couple of physical things about him that I don't like, but the conversation is flowing. So I'm like, let's just try to meet. But now I'm getting too much in my head, because usually when I ask for people to meet, like we started talking yesterday or today, this morning, I don't know. When I ask people to meet in real life, I feel like they get a bit thrown back, like they get a bit scared in a way, because usually people talk for lots of days or for weeks and then they want to meet in real life. But for me, I don't want to waste a lot of time just texting and on my phone when we can have the same conversation like face to face. I get it that for some people maybe it's a bit scary. I get it for women, for example. It's sad to put it like this, but for them they have to be really cautious, because men are horrible, let's be honest. Gay men are a bit better, but men in general, we are horrible. So women need to be careful with meeting one-to-one with someone. But with me, I feel like if something happened, I can just punch back in the worst case scenario. And for me, it's a waste of time to just be texting a lot. But I also understand that for some people, it's a waste of time to meet in real life before getting to know someone. But yeah, I think I'm gonna ask to meet in real life soon. Maybe not today because we started talking today or yesterday, but maybe tomorrow, so I don't sound desperate. I don't think I'm desperate, but maybe it gives out those vibes. I don't know. I'm excited, and I just want to say that I'm happy that I'm talking with this guy, and I don't want to be like this. I've seen in movies, like in sketches online, that when gay people are interested in someone, they talk like it's the first time they're experiencing all of this, and they want to go really fast, and they are super excited. But I think that's a beautiful thing, as long as you're not super delusional, thinking that you just met the love of your life. Or let's just be delusional, why not? I don't think there's anything wrong. There's something wrong, like it happened with me in the past, that I get really excited about someone, nothing happens, so after that I'm a little bit sad. But the excitement that happened before, the happiness that I was feeling while I was so excited, I think it compensates the sadness that comes after that. I don't know if this is the healthiest approach, probably not. If there's a psychologist, leave a comment below. But I like to feel, I think it's a Cancer thing. I don't want to be this person that just talks about astrology, like the signs and all of that, the zodiac signs. But apparently Cancers, I'm from July 16, Cancers are really emotional, they are sensitive. I think we're also loyal. There has to be some positive stuff as well. But yeah, we're really emotional, and I am emotional. And before I was not so emotional because I was closeted as in being gay, but also closeted as in I'm afraid to show emotions. But there's nothing wrong with that. I know not a lot, but I know some people that they are a bit, maybe scared is the word, to be emotional and to be seen by other people being emotional. And I think that's kind of sad, but of course everyone goes through different journeys. But as soon as I started to be more myself, and if I'm feeling sad, I will express that. If I'm happy, I will express that. I feel like life has been going much better. And this is the most cliche advice ever in the world. But this, when people say just be yourself, I feel like it makes a difference. And not just be yourself as in adapt yourself into the version that people think that you are, but be yourself unapologetically. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing that unapologetically, but I am being more myself every day, and I love it. And there's also some bad things that come with being unapologetically yourself, but like losing some people that maybe they like the version of you before being so out there and yourself. And I also think that there's a thin line between being yourself and being annoying as fuck, because maybe some people, they like the way they really are is really loud and always making the most and being the center of attention, which is great, but sometimes you need to dial it down. I don't know, maybe now I'm contradicting myself, but in my mind it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, about guys, I'm excited to meet this one, but what I don't like about this excitement, about this happiness, is that now that I'm excited to meet someone, I will forget about other issues that I was dealing with. But I will try not to do that, because it's 2025, almost 2026, which is crazy, and we are not avoiding problems anymore. Like, even if new stuff comes my way, it doesn't mean that the old stuff disappear. It doesn't mean that all the traumas and everything that I was trying to deal with just vanishes into thin air. Is not the case. We can still work on all of that while enjoying new stuff and happy things. So this is the goal for not today, but for the rest of the year, for 2026. And it feels good. And again, thank you everyone. I know that I don't have like a lot of followers and a lot of interaction, engagement and all this stuff, but I really appreciate the comments on the previous videos. I also really appreciate that it's not just gay people. I love gay people. I am a gay person myself, but there's a bit of everything, like different perspectives from older guys, from younger guys, from some women. And I love it because that's what I liked about YouTube. When I was much younger, I'm still young, I'm 31. I almost go through the whole video without saying my age, but I have to say it in every video. Not because I want to, just because it comes out. But when I was younger, maybe I was not fitting in so much at school and all this stuff. YouTube was the place to feel like there's other people like me. And I was not commenting, I was not like talking with a lot of people, but just watching YouTube, watching content from people that maybe they were considered as the, what's the word, like a bit different, not the popular people. It really gave me this feeling of, okay, maybe you don't belong here in the place that I was currently in, that I was currently living, but I will fit in with other people eventually. So it gave me hope in a way. And this kind of videos that I'm doing, they are not revolutionary, but it helps me open up. It helps me organize my thoughts. This little community that I like to think we have in here, it's really, really special when people leave comments and stuff. So yeah, if something brings you happiness, why not keep doing it? And if in the way I can help someone, I don't think I'm helping other people, but if people can relate to what I'm going through or connect to some extent, then my whole day is done. So yeah, I think that's it. And it's really fitting that I have my Blackpink shirt. Thank you, my friend Richard, who bought it for me, which is getting a bit small, but now it's tight, like perfectly tight, not embarrassingly tight. Because yesterday I went to Wonho's concert here in Helsinki, and I'm thinking this upcoming Wednesday to go to Uni's, I don't know how you pronounce it, concert. So if you're in Helsinki, you want to go to that concert, let me know. Because yesterday I went on my own. Wednesday I will probably end up going on my own as well, and I don't mind, but yeah, I'm related to everything. But thank you for watching. Enjoy whatever you're gonna do, and see you soon. Bye bye.